back to episode 130. It's time for that pay-per-view review. You're not getting this podcast style, you're only getting it here on the YouTubes. We're talking about WWE TLC.
So make sure you run over there and punch that subscribe button real quick.
Yeah.
Just so you don't ever miss out on any of these YouTube exclusives.
Yep, because you only get videos like this, predictions, top 5, stuff like that, only in video form. You don't get them podcast. So, yeah, we're talking about Smackdown's final pay-per-view of 2016. They got the stipulation this time. Last time Raw got Hell in a Cell. So it's SmackDown's turn to get a little crazy, use some weapons and whatnot.
Yeah. What about non-weapon involvement, though, because the pre-show match put together a 10-man tag match, seeing the Vaudevillains, the Ascension and Kurt Hawkins versus American Alpha, the Hype Bros, gross, and Apollo Crews. It's been so long since he's been on TV, I forgot his name.
Where the fuck has Apollo Crews been? I don't know, but he was on the pre-show to TLC. I mean, this match, I didn't know what to think about it initially. I was just like, this is a very strange grouping of people. There's no reason for this match to be here. I kind of felt bad for American Alpha, because they won Tag Team Turmoil, and then just because they lost to the Wyatts, they got shoved to the pre-show. They couldn't put like an extra match on the show or anything.
Yeah.
Which they totally could have, because they ended the show 18 minutes early. Just saying. But yeah, so it was, it started off, it was just, feeling it out. This is only like the third time we've actually seen Kurt Hawkins like on a show in the ring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it started off just kind of normal tag team, and then they got a little crazy. There was the spot where they were just like everyone was throwing everyone out of the ring.
That was confusing.
It was weird. It started with Simon Gotch and Chad Gable, who stayed out for a while after this whole thing happened, but then it's just like this person tossed this person out, and again and again and again and again until
then everybody got back in the ring
except for Simon Gotch and Chad Gable.
And then all the faces threw all the heels out.
Yeah. And then everyone, except for Chad Gable, got to celebrate.
And then moved to a commercial.
Yeah. And then we came back, and the heel probably had a face and a hold, because that's how that works.
Yeah, I think the one thing I liked, my favorite part is that they visited on the past of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
Yeah, like initially they kind of started off, and Hawkins was like, "Oh, you want to go against me? You want to go against me?" No, and then tagged in Victor.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually we just get this crazy breakdown where we get some really good setups for double team moves.
Yeah.
The Vaudevillain, I think it was Aiden English, ended up getting the Hype Rider, and then Mojo ended up getting the Fall of Man.
There you go.
Man, the Ascension haven't used that in forever. I forgot what the fucking name was. Yeah, it was just like again and again and again, all these moves, and eventually everyone's out of the ring except for American Alpha and the Vaudevillains. Simon Gotch gets hit with Grand Amplitude, and American Alpha wins it for their team. We didn't have any points on the line for that one.
No.
Just to reiterate, the wager for this one we're carrying over from Survivor Series. I decided to double up, try and get rid of my one chop that I was going to be getting from Survivor Series. Each of these are for 2. Every point that the person who wins by gets, that's 2 chops to the loser. So I'm trying to get rid of that one, I don't want to get chopped. So I'm trying to make it interesting. I'm trying to put a lot more over onto him. But our first match,
because potentially we run out that I end up getting chopped 6 times.
Yeah, if things go my way. But our first match, points don't really matter at this point because we both went for exactly. We both went for the Wyatt family taking the titles away from Heath Slater and Rhino. This was a good match to start with.
Yeah.
The crowd was really hyped for both teams, which was really good. Orton and Wyatt seem to work better together, like every time they go out, which is nice.
Yeah, it's still developing their chemistry.
I'm just glad it doesn't seem like it's just 2 random people just thrown together as a team.
Yeah. The real story they were telling during this match, though, is really focusing on the cohesiveness of the Wyatt family, especially the end.
Yes.
Because we have that moment now of spot at the end of the match where Bray's in the corner and I think Rhino runs at him and Orton pushes Bray out of the way. Rhino goes to gore Orton on the outside. Luke Harper pushes him out of the way, takes the gore. So we have this moment where it's been seeming like maybe there's some unspoken tension between Luke Harper and Randy Orton. And then we see Luke Harper take the bullet for Orton.
Yeah, that's been kind of the, is this going to work? Because Harper's always had an issue with Orton, seeming like, well, what the hell are you doing in this group? You have no reason to be here. And so, so Harper, I guess, has finally, come to terms with it, and he's okay with it. And then that led into a really well-done end because Heath Slater had just been demolished through this match. He was no good to Rhino whatsoever. So Rhino hits that gore on Luke Harper. He gets back in, immediately trying to go for Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt pops up into the spider walk. And Rhino must have forgotten that Randy Orton was the legal man because Randy Orton fucking, with the utmost grace, slides in, hits a beautiful RKO, slides right into the pin, tells ref, come on, count this shit, rolls over, 1, 2, 3, and the Wyatts are the new tag team champions. And then we got the really cool moment at the end where Randy actually took one of the belts from Harper, Harper gave the other belt to Wyatt, and then we had the face-off between Harper and Randy actually put the title over his other shoulder, because Bray actually gave his championship back to Harper, so Harper got to hold both of the tag titles. We had a really cool trio pose at the end. So yeah, we have a very
Wyatt family for King of Trios 2017.
Hell yeah, we have a very cohesive Wyatt family ready to go. So that is 1 point to both of us. The next match is very much you son of a bitch. Next match is very much the same way. We both went for Nikki Bella taking a win in a no DQ match over Carmella. This was interesting.
Yeah, right off the bat, I want to say I think the referee forgot it was supposed to be a no disqualification match.
Yeah, why are you trying to do a count out in a no DQ match?
Because he did, but then the second time they go out of the ring, he doesn't.
Yeah.
So I feel like, the refs have those earpieces in. I think somebody told them, dude, don't do it.
Bro, no DQ. Was it? Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it was just, initially it was weird, and then we had that moment where we second-guessed whether or not it was a no DQ match.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was supposed to be, but then I was like, I don't remember. I didn't pay attention to see if the ring announcer actually said it was a no disqualification match. So maybe they just did that thing that sometimes WWE wants you to forget something happened.
Yeah. We didn't really want to make this a no DQ match. No,
just
it was
kidding.
Just a regular match.
We learned another interesting fact is that Nikki Bella doesn't know which end of the kendo stick to hold.
No, because she ends up pulling a kendo stick out from underneath. But
Carmella brought the kendo stick out.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Nikki brought it out.
No, Carmella brought it out because she had Nikki in the Tree of Woe. And Carmella is using it to whack Nikki in the legs and whatnot. Nikki ends up getting it back, or getting it from her, and just holds it at the top end both times that she used it during the match. Separate occasions. Whacking Carmella with the handle.
Yeah. And
I've been hit with one of those before.
With a handle?
No. But I can tell you that the handle is a lot less forgiving than the rest of the thing.
True.
Because the handle is completely sealed around.
Yeah.
So it has no give.
And it's got that canvas, the hide on it that makes it even just more compact. It doesn't really matter what side you get hit with on a kendo stick, it fucking hurts. You want to just go check out me get hit back from Backlash or whatever the hell it was. But yeah, it was just, I feel like they really tried. I'll give them the benefit for that, because I don't think either of these women have ever been in a no DQ match. So they definitely went out there and tried to do things a little differently, and they had a few things that worked, a few things that didn't.
Yeah, Nikki hit her little springboard kick, but off the guardrail.
That was cool. I liked that bit. Carmella was. I feel like Carmella kind of lacked in this. She didn't quite get as as extreme as she could have gotten. I think Nikki definitely took the cake as far as like really utilizing what was
a fire extinguisher.
Well, yeah.
She really utilized the shit out of that fire extinguisher.
She wanted to make sure that there wasn't a bit of that chemical thing in there. She was just spraying her, like, the first time I was like, oh, that was cool. Then she got in and she did it again. And then she kept doing it. And there was a lot of times where we couldn't see what was going on.
She literally just chased Carmella a full lap around the ring while spraying her with fire extinguisher.
There's a good minute worth of just constant spray from the fire extinguisher.
It's really cold.
Yeah.
And it sucks the oxygen out of the area, which that had to suck. Like,
yeah.
It's like, that's one of the things that the fire extinguishers do. They diminish the oxygen content of the area around it.
Yeah, that's
which
the
kills
idea.
fire.
Yeah.
They spray foam, which also helps, but
so it probably wasn't the most comfortable situation, but after using up the majority of that fire extinguisher, Carmella was left unable to stop the TKO or the Rack Attack 2.0 or whatever the hell she's calling it.
That's what they call it.
And Nikki
Rack
Bella,
Attack 20 with a period in the middle.
Yeah. Nikki Bella picks up the win in the ODQ match. But then
Carmella, another point.
No. Carmella decides she wants to drop a bomb real quick and be like, oh, you of course you think it was me that attacked you at Survivor Series, but it wasn't me. I can tell you who it was. It was your Total Divas friend, Natalya. And everyone went, oh, we're so surprised that the person that, the person that took Nikki's spot was the one that attacked her at Survivor Series. So surprised. And then we had Natty actually later in the show deny it, saying, oh, well, Carmella can say all she wants. That doesn't mean that it's true. She's like, well, why was she out? By the way, I don't like that interview chick. She has no personality, and she's not even that fun to look at. But she's asking her a question, and she's like, well, what reason would she have to lie? And Natty's like, I don't know, because she's a liar. Which just
I'm sold.
Yeah, seems legit to me.
Point well.
No. Let's go to the first match that we did disagree on, though.
Yeah, that was
this was the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. The Miz defending against Dolph Ziggler. This was the last time, no matter what happened, this is the last time these two are facing each other for the championship. No rematches, no nothing.
Except for the next 8 weeks on Smackdown. But they're all non-title, so they're not going to even mean anything.
Nah, they won't do that. They got to do something with the Miz.
Like what?
Facing Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Even though we have 4 months till WrestleMania.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I appreciate what these two did in this ladder match.
Yeah.
They fucking went for it, and it was good.
They did.
And
it was.
Some really good work on the knee of Dolph Ziggler, which led to some good usage of the figure 4 from the Miz. Ziggler is always fun to watch in ladder matches. It's in his wheelhouse, and it's a good stipulation that benefits his style of wrestling.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting their way they went about the early portion of the match. How they went to the outside basically right away.
Yeah.
And then they stayed there for the first quarter of the match, just out in that front of the ring area.
Another thing that was good about it is it was a very much a, if you do this to me, I get a receipt. There wasn't a long period of either guy having the advantage on the outside. It was very back and forth. And it wasn't until the knee became a major issue and they got back in the ring that the Miz kind of had just his run of the offense on Dolph Ziggler. And Ziggler still had a lot of moments where he made pretty quick comebacks.
Yeah, and then speaking of knees, we thought it was going to be curtains for the Miz because he ends up getting knocked off the ladder.
Yeah.
And when he hits the ground, his leg kind of tweaks out.
Well,
and he just immediately starts flailing.
He was hanging from the belt thing, and Ziggler moved moved the ladder out from under him, and then whacked him with it. Yeah, he just fucking crumbles. And it scared me for a second because he immediately rolls over and goes, "Ah, motherfucker!" And like rolls to the outside, and I was like, "Oh shit, is he all right?" And so then then we get the Ziggler puts the ladder back up, starts scrambling up. He's trying to make
Hopping 1 foot.
Miz ends up making it back out, knocks him off. Miz decides he's gonna grab a second ladder and initially use it as a crutch, and then actually sets it up, and then he starts climbing up the second ladder. And then we get the battle between ladders, and Miz moves over. Miz ends up getting headbutted off, and Ziggler is so close. He's right fucking there. That was one thing I wanted to hit, was when they're going up the ladder, Ziggler climbing just all upper body, not even using legs. But Ziggler's at the top, about to grab the title. Miz climbs back up and kicks right between the ladders, right between the legs of Dolph Ziggler. Gives him 2 just to make sure that Dolph Ziggler falls all the way down.
1 for each half of the ding ding. 1 for each ding.
Yep. Left ding and right ding. And The Miz.
We can say that now because Carino's working for WWE.
Yeah, it works. And The Miz retains the Intercontinental Championship.
Because he's The Miz, and booking is wonky in WWE.
Man, I thought you were going to do it. You know, the one thing I want to point out about this is the fact that Maurice did not get involved.
Yeah.
Which was...
I enjoy the fact, that
she was out there the whole time and did not get involved once.
The final confrontation between Miz and Ziggler
was
finished as clean as a ladder match can be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Not to say it's the cleanest match, but, as far as the stipulation goes, the fact that they didn't really tarnish it was good. It's a good end to that feud, so we'll see where Miz goes from here. Then came the match that neither of us were really excited about. Chairs match. Kalisto and Baron Corbin. Both of us going for Kalisto because Baron Corbin's been pissing us off the last couple weeks.
Yep.
And I even said it during the match. They were just kind of doing the basic stuff. There wasn't anything special about the chairs at first. And I asked, I was like, has there ever been a good chairs match?
And I fight for Del Rio versus Sheamus.
I don't remember any chairs matches.
Barrett versus Cena. So the chairs match.
Oh, the one where he buried him in chairs.
Yeah. Or was that a full blown TLC?
I think that was a TLC match.
I don't know.
It might have been a chairs match.
No, I want to go right off the bat by exclaiming how entertained I was and how game Kalisto was at the beginning. Because, with the exception of the fact that he does his entrance, he doesn't stop to do his little pose. He just jumps in and then immediately rolls out the other side and goes to throw chairs in the ring.
He knows where he's going.
He rolls out,
whips the apron up and goes,
"Fuck, there are no chairs."
Oh, they're all behind me.
And all the chairs are set up literally, there's
all the way around the ring. So he hucks 7 or 8 into the ring just right off the bat.
Doesn't make him look bright, but then when Baron Corbin comes out, Kalisto immediately starts throwing chairs at him, trying to kick the chairs into Kalisto or Baron Corbin's face.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin kind of just weathers the initial onslaught at the beginning.
Yeah, it was a shoe fly don't bother me kind of moment where he just kind of grabbed the chair and said, "Fuck you, stop hitting me with that."
Yeah, but then Baron Corbin takes over, but Kalisto keeps having all these moments of oh, I've got this cool move.
I think I can.
Like the off the top rope seated senton onto a bed of 6 chairs that were all
that was the first big bump of the match, and Corbin just obliterated 6 chairs, which was pretty fantastic because I wasn't sure what was exactly going to happen with that situation.
Kalisto ended up hitting a running Rana on the outside.
Yeah.
That was when he went off of the guardrail. He almost slipped. But
yeah, very close.
Made it.
Corbin actually, he went for another move a little later, and Corbin hit a big deep 6 on the outside.
Yeah, he went to do a dive through the ropes and he got caught.
Yeah.
That was gnarly. Corbin hit a huge one-arm power bomb.
Yeah, that was a hell of a power bomb. Like, obviously there's a huge size difference, and Corbin is pretty strong.
And twice as many faces.
I don't know, Kalisto's got a face and a mask.
Yeah, but one of them isn't organic material.
That's fair. God damn it. I'll throw it off. We had Kalisto getting chucked into the groups of chairs on the outside, and then there was a lot of like, pile up the chairs. What can I do in the ring?
Yeah, Baron Corbin had that moment where he just felt like if he threw the chairs on the mat harder, it would like be more impactful.
This was right after he got the fucking the knee, like moonsault knees chair right into the sternum, which probably didn't feel all that great.
Yeah.
So then Corbin is he's fucking pissed. Just throws and just doesn't care. And then Kalisto tries to go off the other corner to try and like knock him into the pile of chairs and gets fucking chair lined out of the air. Oh my god. This chair along the entire forearm blasts Kalisto out of the air. That's the final moment. Kalisto is done at this point. So Baron Corbin just decides to add the insult to injury. End of days onto the pile of chairs.
The end of days is just literally for, like...
emphasis.
Yeah, a little exclamation point.
Yeah, like, oh, I've already beat you, but, a big old fuck you.
Because, like, I think both David Otunga and JBL were like, he's already unconscious.
Yeah, no, and they made multiple notes of that. It's like, he didn't even need to do that. Kalisto was already done.
Yeah, so why are you a dick, Baron Corbin?
Because he's Baron Corbin.
I will punch you in the balls.
You'd do that anyway.
And run.
So neither of us...
I have a door I can lock.
Neither of us got a point for that, so it's currently, I believe, 2 to 1. It's 2...
What it really is I'm over him by 1.
Yeah,
that's all that really matters.
And it's starting to scare me, because I realized earlier today, before we watched it, I went, oh man, I expected Smackdown to switch all of their champions. That was a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
So I needed some title changes. Something had to change.
Well, yeah, the tag team titles.
I meant one that we disagreed on.
Well, speaking of disagreements, the next 2 matches we did disagree on.
Yep, and they're both singles titles.
SmackDown's Ladies Championship on the line tables match between Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. Again, getting kind of inventive. Yeah, no, they
this being the first time that it's probably the first time that Alexa Bliss has been in a tables match. I would imagine Becky Lynch has been in at least one somewhere.
Potentially.
She's been around wrestling for a while. But yeah, no, it was both of them just trying to think outside the box and do something different where they were using the tables like. But Alexa Bliss immediately was like, I'm going to get rid of this table.
Yeah, every time Becky Lynch pulled a table out, and Alexa went out, knocked her down, and then tried to shove the table back under the ring.
Yeah. And then even when it was in the ring, every time Becky tried to put Alexa through it, she was flipping the table over and moving out of the way. Becky even did it once because she had her in that position that she was in on SmackDown.
Yeah, trying to go for the superplex.
Trying to do the superplex, and then she ended up falling down. She realized where she was, so she nervously knocked it out of the way. She's like, I don't want to even try and put myself in that situation.
My favorite, though, I think, was Alexa Bliss using the support around the outside of the table.
Oh, for the DDT?
DDTing Becky Lynch head onto the little support thing.
No, that was...
It's one of those minute detail things.
It was creative in a way. It's like, how do we use the tables? Because that's the one thing about tables is that you can only really use one table. Like, unless you are constantly doing, like, oh, we both go through this table, or this person accidentally falls through a table, or, like, weird stuff like that, which doesn't really get people hyped for it. Or unless you have, like, managers or something you're going to put through tables. That's a different story. But as far as the tables match go, you can only really use one. There's that one, like, emphatic table that means everything. So how do you use that to your advantage? And so that right there was a perfect, just, thinking outside the box type of usage for the table. And they did it again where Becky had the table set up on the bottom rope.
Yeah, and she goes outside and she puts Alexa on it, and then she goes outside and climbs to the top rope. And I was really curious to see like what was going to come of this.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it was just going to be like a double stomp, like
that would have been the
table.
Only thing that from that distance, because
she
literally
didn't give
Becky
herself a lot of room.
right on top.
Yeah.
But Alexa didn't let anything come of that. She got up and gave her a freaking iconoclast snapmare off the top rope.
Yeah. And then there was that one table that they set up early on that I kept thinking they were going to do that double, both of them go through the table spot.
Yeah, and what I liked is they set that table up early, and then they went into the ring, and they did so much play with the second table that Alexa brought into the ring.
Yeah.
So much play, so much fighting over it, so many times of like close to getting put through it, but like moving it. So it kind of like was like, oh, here's the table spot, oh gosh, and then like they start making their way back over towards that first table, and you're like, oh yeah, there is one out here.
Another thing they did really well with that extra table they did in the ring is they had it set up in the corner, and they did a lot of like close calls where there was like sunset flips and like trying to throw the person in and the person stopping just at the right moment, and like there was a lot of really good like. Are they going to go through? Are they... no, okay, here it goes. And so then, from that top rope, like, what's Becky going to do on this table? They end up kind of fighting on the apron, and then Alexa gets knocked down and almost goes through the table, and there's that one, like, okay, this is it for Becky. Becky's going to win. And then, like, Becky starts, like kicking and, tries to go for, like, a big soccer kick on Alexa, and she actually grabs Becky's leg, swings it around, and then power bombs her through the table on the outside. Alexa Bliss is the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
And now we're tied.
At 3. Woo! Freaking me out. But that just means that this next match decides who gets the chops. Because we have the tables, ladders, and chairs match between AJ Styles and his challenger, Dean Ambrose. Boy, did these guys fucking just go balls to the wall.
Yeah, and I think potentially the best singles TLC match.
I was thinking about that during it. I was like, this, like, the fact, what I appreciate out of this is, once again, the creativity. Because that's something that, you got to think that the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian have already done so much in TLC matches.
Yeah.
That it really makes people have to, like, stretch their minds and figure out different things that they can do.
Well, I mean, even discounting the fact that they did so many of those initial tag team TLC matches, because, like, the first 3 of them were all tag teams.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of the TLC matches
I think even more like that.
Were all tag teams.
Yeah.
But then if you go back, TLC pay-per-view, this is the 9th year.
Yeah, this was the 19th TLC match ever.
Yeah.
So
and it's like I'm pretty sure it's like the 9th year of the TLC pay-per-view.
I don't think not that much, because that would mean we had them back in like 2007. I don't think it goes back that far. I may be wrong.
But either way, I mean, you have to stretch it because now we've had this yearly pay-per-view going on for a while now.
Yeah.
So now, even on top of the fact that we had so many TLC matches that were cool and special because they were doing them at other pay-per-views, early on in the TLC, when those guys were around, And now we have all these one-on-one matches that have been happening.
Yeah.
So it's just more and more stuff's getting used up. So it's like each time a new grouping of people has to go to TLC, they have to think of something new every single time.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, one of my favorite TLCs is probably CM Punk and Jeff Hardy. They had a really killer TLC match at SummerSlam.
You know, for me, it's a sentimental thing. It doesn't have anything to do with how good the match actually was. Other than the fact that I think it exceeded everyone's expectations. Edge versus Ric Flair on Monday Night Raw.
Oh, yeah. Hell, even Undertaker when he was in TLC, the fact that he took that huge bump to the outside through 4 tables. No one expected Undertaker to do that shit. But going into this match, we had a really good combination of guys because you have a guy who excels at violent creativity in Dean Ambrose, and then someone who exceeds at athletic creativity in AJ Styles.
Yeah, and we mentioned this on the pre-show, is that, Dean Ambrose, it's definitely in his wheelhouse to have all the weapons and all the toys in the ring, but that, AJ Styles being...
He's been around a while.
Yeah, that he's also comfortable in that scenario because I've seen him do ladder matches. He's done the Ultimate X thing. He's done the Elevation X thing.
He's not a stranger to the situation at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hardcore aspect, people would automatically go for Dean Ambrose as a shoo-in to win. But yeah, you take into consideration the things that AJ's done. But this match, right off the bat, they start going up the ramp. AJ's getting suplexed on an extra ramp that's over there. He's getting shoved through the tables that are on the side of the ramp. Gets put on the table over by the stage, and Dean Ambrose tries to elbow drop him off of one of the ladders over there. They end up fighting through the crowd. They go back over, and then they start pulling out ladders and tables and chairs of their own that are just kind of under the ring and around the outside of the ring, and just all they did not waste time in this match.
Yeah.
It was rapid fire, just different things, every couple seconds.
And to fact check myself, this is the 8th TLC pay-per-view.
8th. Oh, okay.
It started in 2009.
Oh, okay. All right, so you were close. God, and it ended up...
And yes, it was a chairs match.
Oh.
John Cena versus Wade Barrett, which was the main event of that year's TLC, was the chairs match.
Yeah. The only thing I remember is John Cena burying Wade Barrett in chairs. That's the only thing I remember. As he pulls that whole fucking section of the stage down on top of Barrett. Yeah, God. Okay, so they start using they finally start bringing the ladders in. They didn't use tables a whole lot.
No.
That was more towards the end as they started using that. But yeah, the ladders start getting pulled into the ring. A couple of chairs start getting used. Dean Ambrose actually pulls apart all of the announce tables and does the elbow drop off of the ladder through the commentator table. And
don't vomit.
That was a burp. Yeah, and it's so much is happening here, and then so after we start having that battle, to get up the ladder, there's a lot of dropping the person down and trying to find different ways to get around the person. Then AJ takes it to a whole nother freaking level as he gets Dean Ambrose down on the outside.
And I was completely wrong. It wasn't Sheamus versus Del Rio. It was Del Rio versus Jack Swagger.
I remember it even less.
It was like the Mex America implosion. But I thought for the fact that it was two guys that we didn't really care about, that they put on a really good chairs match.
Still don't remember.
You wouldn't.
So AJ decides, okay, what can I do to really just put this match over the edge? He decides he's going to put Dean Ambrose on a table on the outside.
And then perform a move he does typically from the apron to the inside of the ring.
But instead, he's going to go from inside the ring to the table that's on the outside. He does a springboard 450 through the table and eats the fucking floor.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
It was pretty pinpoint accurate as far as where he landed, though.
Yeah, like he probably couldn't have planned it any better than the way it did.
And then we get the, AJ's about to win. And then AJ stops moving the ladder around.
Because the crowd, you hear the crowd start to build for a second. And then AJ goes, shoves the ladder over because here comes James Ellsworth.
And he meets him on the outside. He rolls out, kicks him, and immediately sets up for that Styles Clash again.
Yeah. But instead of getting the Styles Clash, he ends up getting clothesline in the face by Dean Ambrose. Ends up almost inside the top set of stairs. Ends up getting Dirty Deeds on the stairs. And then it's at that moment, Dean Ambrose goes into frantic mode. And he starts, shuffling around, and he starts army crawling his way in, and Ellsworth is trying to get him going, get going, and he's getting to that point, and I think did Styles end up getting back in? They end up fighting again before the big moment. I feel like AJ got back in really quick. I could be wrong. I think that they may have
did, because Ambrose sends him to the outside on the commentator's side.
Yeah.
And he flies through the middle and bottom rope and takes a splat to the floor.
Yeah. And then so this is Ambrose's final moment. He's golden at this point. There's no way he's going to be stopped. He's at the top, about to touch the belt. The ladder starts to tip. He goes crashing through tables on the outside. Because I fucking called it. And I didn't follow through with it. James Ellsworth turned on Dean Ambrose. And then he sets the ladder up. And he starts cheering on AJ Styles. AJ Styles climbs with the ladder. And he grabs the belt.
Any guy with two hands can be a dick.
Why? Why did I do this to myself?
So for the second pay-per-view in a row, we had 3 disagreements, but we come to only a win by 1. So now he's got 3 chops heading his direction.
If I was wearing a second shirt, I'd take this AJ Styles shirt off, but you guys don't need to see that.
Hey, we had both people who won title matches.
Yeah, they did. You get the Bray Wyatt going on.
Undertaker did not win a title match.
No. So yeah.
I liked the pay-per-view as a whole.
I did enjoy the pay-per-view.
I felt like they might have been able to add a match or 2.
Yeah,
specifically because there just seemed to be a lot of lag time between the matches.
A lot of downtime, and they ended 18 minutes early. So yeah. I mean, you could have had you probably didn't even need that pre-show match. That could have been a time killer on your actual pay-per-view. You probably could have had more of the ladies in action. Could have had maybe a number 1 contenders for who's going to face the Miz next, or something of the sort, or
Luke Harper versus Kane.
No. Let's just be glad that didn't happen. You probably could have even had a tag team match for who were going to face the Wyatts.
Yeah.
Or who was going to be next in line for a tag team title shot, depending on who won.
Yeah. So put the Spirit Squad versus the Headbangers.
Yeah. I would have watched it.
Yeah, well, it would have been in the middle of the pay-per-view.
Well,
it wouldn't be like you're gonna.
I have the ability to turn the pay-per-view off. I pay for the network. I can do that.
Yeah, but it's not like you would.
No, I wouldn't. I'm just saying that I could.
You sit through things you dislike.
I do. Like Raw, which is on today. Tomorrow. Whatever.
Todaro.
After this video.
Yeah. So
I
give the pay-per-view a thumbs up. It was good.
No, I'm definitely not disappointed with this pay-per-view.
He's disappointed with the points and the way they were dispersed. Because
I'm disappointed in James Ellsworth. And I'm blaming Survivor Series on Roman Reigns still.
Yeah.
The one time I expect you to pull through, man.
The guy and the chin. Less wonder.
But with that said, it was a good pay-per-view. This has been our review. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Click all the links down in the description. They'll send you all of our social medias.
We got a bunch of those.
There's also a podcast link where you can check out indie news currently, but coming up next we'll have Raw Reviews, Smackdown Rundown, and the Midweek Wrap-Up, all in podcast form.
All of those videos you can also find over to our left in the playlist, or unless you're on mobile, then they're going to be down below.
That way. You get our extra videos where you'll find that punishment video when I do get chopped by professional wrestlers. You'll find that at Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
That's reasonable with a W.
Like wrestling. You get YouTube your stuff. Go over there. Check it out. See what we got. If you got ideas for other stuff you want to see.
Post in the comments.
Yeah. Combine those two things we just said. Post in the comments what you'd want to see on that other channel. Post in the comments other stuff you want to see on this channel.
It's like we've been doing this outro so long we can finish each other's
sentences.
No,
sandwiches.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
We're close. We're almost there. But yeah, check out the videos there. Check out the videos here. Thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Yeah.
Fuck James Ellsworth.
No, Baron Corbin.